everyone, I haven't done a video in a while and I wanted to do another one with my handy dandy GoPro that I've been falling in love with so much. Now, I had this for a couple of months now and wanted to kind of give my thoughts and opinions on it and kind of what I think about it. Actually shooting, or I should say filming, at a local park here in Bellevue, West Nashville. It's called Red Caboose Park. And I'm actually sitting on the actual caboose. There is an actual caboose here, so this is kind of neat. It's just a small little park here. It's a community park. A lot of festivals. There's a playground here behind me off shot. Anyway, I wanted to tell you kind of what I think about my GoPro, and maybe if you're thinking about getting one, kind of what I would suggest perhaps. Now, this particular one is the GoPro 3. It's the white edition. Now, the reason I went with the white edition is because I have my camcorder, my Canon Vixia camcorder, and I really like it, but I wanted something kind of as a second shot, something that I could use for, you know, the various things that I film, and I thought this might be a good option. Now, this is actually, I've been using it a lot lately, been doing a lot of time-lapse videos and things, and I'm finding this is actually very useful. And it's great for what I use it for. And you're probably wondering why I went with the Hero 3 white edition as opposed to, say, 3 Plus silver, black, 4, yada yada yada. So I want to kind of give you some tips if you haven't gotten one yet. Maybe you're thinking about picking one up, what you might want to think about. Now, GoPros come in several different models, and the models have different features. First of all, the base model is called just the GoPro Hero. Now, that model runs about 120 bucks or so, and that would be pretty good if you're just looking for basic ways to film footage without doing a whole lot of or I should say without having to have a whole lot of different features, editing and that kind of thing. That might be a good option. That particular unit comes in a weatherproof housing, so of course it's waterproof. You can use it to do water sports, action shots, that sort of thing. Now, the battery does not come out of that unit, and it does not have Wi-Fi, so you are very limited with that unit. And also, you can't use anything above a 32 gig micro SD card. Now, all SD, or I should say all GoPros, film video onto a micro SD card. So if you're looking for something that you can get a lot of footage with, you might want to maybe think about moving up a little bit. Of course, that particular model also is the basic model, so because it doesn't come out of its case, you're also limited on some of the accessories that you can get, that you can use with that unit. The GoPros come with literally there's tons of accessories that you can get for the GoPro, and you don't have to actually go with the GoPro's accessories themselves. A lot of knockoff and aftermarket accessories available online that you can use with your GoPro, so you're not limited to just the GoPro accessories. Now, with that, I want to talk about the particular unit that I'm using, which is the GoPro 3 White Edition. This particular unit is the one that I chose simply because it's not that expensive. This one was 199 bucks, and it has a lot of features on it that I really think are great for someone who does a lot of YouTube videos or blogging or just, you know, various things of that nature. And it's a nice unit. Now, of course, this one does have Wi-Fi. Now, the Wi-Fi option just allows you to control some of the features from your iPhone or your Android, so you can actually mount it somewhere and start recording and change some of the settings on your smartphone, so you don't have to fumble through some of the buttons on the side. The buttons are kind of small on GoPros, so it does take some getting used to learning how to use those. So you might find that a useful tool. It also comes in a waterproof casing or housing. All Hero models come with that feature, but it is removable from that housing. Also, it has a removable battery, just like all the other models from the 3 on up. and for $199 it's actually a good buy. Now, once you get to the 3 Plus edition, which I think is $299, that's the next series up, then you start getting into more advanced settings for things like 60 frames per second, 4K video, there's various features like Pro Tune, Night Scene, a lot of things that you may or may not use if you're just looking for a basic video camera. So that is why I went with the 3. Now let's talk about the waterproof casing a little bit. The waterproof casing is great for obviously doing action shots. So if you're like doing something where you're water skiing or surfing or maybe playing around in a pool, you definitely want to use that. But if you're just doing, you know, video shots such as what I'm doing here, then the waterproof casing does mute or muffle the sound. So you probably want to get what's called a GoPro frame case or a frame case. This one is actually in a frame case now. It kind of opens the unit up, lets the microphone pick up more sound, so the sound quality is better. Also, you might want to think about picking up some kind of tripod mount. You want to get a tripod adapter so you can mount it on a tripod stand or some of the accessories. I've actually got this unit mounted on a Gorilla Pod. So it's kind of wrapped around a pole here on the caboose, and I'm filming with that. So that's something else to think about. The third option you want to consider is an external battery pack. Now the battery in the GoPro, regardless of which one you go with, whether it's a GoPro battery or one of the many aftermarket batteries, like the Wasabi batteries or what's called the Watson brand batteries, they generally last about an hour. So you'll get about an hour worth of recording time out of a video, for video on the GoPro. So if you're looking at doing any long videos over an hour, so like a concert or something of that nature, then you might want to think about picking up an external battery charger or battery pack. I have one made by a company called RAV Power, which is a 10,000 milliamp battery. I think I got it for less than 20 bucks. And it allows me to record video for literally as long as the SD card fills up. So that's something else that I would think is a must. Now, another nice feature of this, or the main feature of this unit that I like, is the time-lapse video capability. Time-lapse video is very popular right now. You've probably seen a lot of them on YouTube, and the 3 white on and on up will do time-lapse video fairly easily. Of course, you do want to have a SD card that will work to do that, so you probably want to go with a 32 gig or higher. Now, as I said, the Hero, the base model, the one for 120 bucks, will not use a card any bigger than a 32 gig card, so therefore you're limited on how much you can get out of one of those. So that is another reason why you want to think about getting at least the Hero 3 white or higher. Now, let's talk a little bit about SD cards, micro SD cards. Probably want to think about getting at least a Class 10 micro SD card. Now, SanDisk and Lexar seem to be the two most common cards that folks use for GoPro cameras. 32 gig, 64 gig. I think they will support up to 64 gig, so you definitely want to do 16 gig, 32 gig, or 64 gig. As I said, you want to think about a Class 10. Also want to think about getting what's called if you're using a SanDisk, you probably want to go with an Ultra or an Extreme, so you don't have any buffering issues or any kind of capturing issues. So you probably want to do the Ultra 1, which is I think called a UHS 1 or a UHS 3. Also, there is also one called the Lexar that I'm not really that familiar with because I use the SanDisk, but I think it's called the 633X. So those are the two micro SD cards that I recommend for your GoPro. One other thing to keep in mind, these products are readily available just about everywhere. I mean, you can get SD cards online, you can get them at Best Buy, lots of accessories at Best Buy for the GoPro, but you might want to check online. There's a lot of aftermarket accessories. You don't necessarily have to go with the GoPro stuff. You can actually get knockoffs or whatnot. Now, of course, folks will say you want to get the GoPro product simply because it's a better quality product. But if you're not doing any extreme action footage and you're just mainly shooting video in your car or whatnot, you might find that you can get an accessory or a product for a lot less money that'll work just as well. So anyway, I hope that has helped you a little bit, and if you have any questions or any comments, of course I always encourage you to leave those below, and I hope to do more, continue to do more video, and hope you guys enjoy this. Don't forget to check out more future videos coming up, and thanks again for watching.